Today we are doing the first modification to my Shelby GT350R. It's going to be installing an exhaust valve controller. From the factory, it does have valves and it's controlled by this toggle switch on the center console, but I want to control it to override it. It allows me to open and close it with the controller itself. And the main reason for this is actually cold starts, because on cold starts, the valves will actuate on their own, even if you're trying to force them open. And also in 6th gear, it will close the valves to make it a little quieter, mainly when you're on the freeway, but this will allow me to independently control the valves on the exhaust of the 350 with just this little remote. We have the exhaust valve controller kit from AWE. So we've got the controller itself, the harness for plugging them in, a couple zip ties, here are little remotes. They give you a lollipop. Got a sticker right there. This kit on their site says it's only compatible with the Focus RS, but the Shelby controllers are the same part number, so it'll also work on this, and I know for sure it'll work because my friend Matt has this exact same thing on his car. We have to take this little rear valance tray off. I'm gonna drop that, and after that we'll be looking to see where to route the wires and where to put the controller and plug them in. I'll show you guys that next up. Looks like we have a bunch of these plastic push pins that'll come out and a couple of 10mm bolts. We'll take those all out, drop the valance. Thanks to Mike at 312 Supercars. We've got the car on a lift, which makes it much, much easier.
I don't know if it's easy getting it on here, but we got it.
Oh yeah, you can't pull the Shelby forward onto a lift, it will scrape, and my splitter is messed up, but all right, let's go. So removed all the little pins and the 2 bolts, and this drops down. Look at all the little rocks and gravel that's gathered up in here. There's a couple more bolts up front that I need to pull out, and then this entire valance will drop down and we can have access to stuff.
We don't feel like it.
Okay, all 4 bolts are out. You can see that rear cover valance thing is on the ground, and we have access here. We've got the mufflers, the diff cooler you can see up there, other set of mufflers. Now we gotta figure out where the valve controller is and now where to plug stuff in. And then the hardest part is gonna be routing the wire over here to keep it away from the stuff that gets hot, obviously, because we don't want things to melt. Eddie is currently very frustrated and irritated because I spent the last 15 minutes trying to get the factory connectors out of the actual valve controller, and they have this little lock in it and I can't get it out, and I'm struggling and I'm sweaty, and I've got Matt on the phone trying to help me, FaceTiming. This is a picture of what I'm dealing with. You see that? This is where it connects. This is a picture of right up in that corner above the exhaust. There's that, and it's got a little red lock that I need to somehow get out. And I've tried using a screwdriver, a little pick to get it out. That needs to unplug so I can plug the AWE in, which you can see, this little gray thing, that's what locks. That I need to get that type of thing out. Ah! Good old American engineering. Ah! We'll get there eventually. This is fully transparent documentation of me doing things on a car. I'm not Tavarish, I'm not. This sucks. I'm annoyed. Help, Matt, help! Finally! Success. This was what I was struggling with. It is out now. So, all right, you see this silver line, that's what's going to this controller right here. That's the valve controller. So I gotta unplug this one on the driver's side. The camera's struggling to focus, but that's what's up in here. Passenger side one is out. You can see cable right there. That's that connector with the red lock. So the controller is up there above the exhaust. And we'll be plugging the AWE one into that, but I'm gonna take out the driver's side one first. Okay, second one is out with a little bit less yelling and swearing, but still plenty of yelling and swearing. So now we're gonna terminate these, route the new thing, and probably do a little more yelling and swearing. Got the controller right there, and then we're routing the connector that goes into the driver's side valve controller over here. Over the top, we've got all this bracketry and stuff. We're gonna end up zip tying it up neatly. And the big thing is we gotta make sure we keep these away from components that get hot, like the muffler and exhaust, because we don't want these to melt. So yeah, we're gonna connect it up and then clean up the cables. And then we should be okay to test. So this plug right here is going to go on the factory valve controller, the wire that I unplugged to terminate it so it's not just sitting open. We're just gonna put that on there on the, this would be the driver's side. So this right here is the factory that I unplugged. I'm gonna put that plug on here and then I'm gonna zip tie it out of the way up here. I just plugged in, this is the AWE side, the new controller, that wire, sorry I wasn't showing it. That's plugged in, routed out of the way. I will final zip tie it, but I have it up going over that exhaust hanger, so it's not gonna be close to heat. It's right next to where the OEM one was routed. But the OEM one does have some like silver heat shielding around it. All right, the controller is mounted right there on that bracket. The wires coming out are looped together, taped together neatly out of the way. Right here, you see, this is where the old plug goes back into the new harness and the new one is routed up over there to the actuator. And then the other wire goes above over here across. And you see over here, we have the old factory wire terminated with a plug. Man, this is difficult. And then the new one is routed up to the actual actuator. Everything is out of the way, away from hot exhaust components. Got the slack out of it, combination of electrical tape and zip ties, hold it out of the way. Next step, we're gonna lower the car a bit before putting that rear valence back on. I'm gonna put the clutch in so electronics turn on and test to see if the valve controllers are actuating with the actual AWE little remote. If that's good to go, then we'll button all back up, lower it, and we'll be able to start the car and test out the remotes, and it should all work. So I'm gonna clean up a bit, and we're gonna lower the car down. You can see the valve on the inside exhaust pipe. Remote off, closes, on and opens up. Same thing on the other side. They both work, so we're gonna raise the car back up and reattach that rear valence, and we are good to go. Install is finished, everything's put back together. We're about to get some food, but holy crap, it's about to storm. The storm just rolled in. We moved the Speciale to hide it under this cover because every other garage bay is full. I'm also on Cup 2s, and Cup 2s don't really work well in the rain. They will hydroplane, so yeah, my car will sound good, but I won't be able to really drive. Oh geez, oh well, we'll wait it out. But overall successful. We got the valve controller installed, it works, it actuates. So the next thing is, once we get it down off the lift, we'll start doing cold starts, and especially the next time I drive it after parking overnight, I'll be able to open the valves fully, and I will definitely record what it sounds like on a full cold start with the valves already open without them actuating back and forth, because it sounds really cool. Again, special thanks to my friend Mike, 312 Supercars. I've been doing all of that while staring at a CLK 63 Black Series and a Murcielago Roadster, so not a bad place to work. Make sure you guys check him out on Instagram and YouTube. And there we go, we are done. Valve control is installed, complete. I'm going to drive home, it's raining, so we'll take it slow with the Cup 2s. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick video kind of showing you guys how to install the valve controllers. Mildly frustrating, but oh, Mike just opened up like all the garages. Speciale, 550, 812.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Looks so sick
It'll
too.
be fun. All right, and with that, thanks for watching guys.